Hey guys, Dinosaur here, back again doing another movie review, and today we'll be reviewing Iron Man 2. Now, Iron Man 2 is directed by Jon Favreau and features Robert Downey Jr., Don Cheadle, Mickey Rourke, Gwyneth Paltrow, Scarlett Johansson, Sam Rockwell, Paul Bettany, and Jon Favreau. So, the plot of Iron Man 2 is that it takes place like sometime after the first one, um, Iron Man like has revealed his true identity in the first, in the end of the first one, he revealed his true identity to everyone. And from there, like, everyone has been inspired by him. Like, everyone has been inspired by Iron Man, and like they've been trying to make Iron Man suits. Like, they've been trying to make rip off Iron Man suits, but they all fail. Like, the military, the what else is there, the Marines, everyone, and a lot of other companies have been trying to make Iron Man suits, but they keep failing, and like a lot of people die from like people making the suits because like accidents go down. So yeah, and Iron Man sees all of that, and Tony Stark. I'll just call him Tony Stark, not Iron Man, because that's what he goes by, like, throughout this whole series, besides Iron Man. Tony Stark, like, he's been seeing that, and, like, he doesn't even want people to, like, be Iron Man, because he knows that they'll do it for bad, and they'll do it for weaponry, and also because people get into a lot of accidents. So yeah, and what's happening with Tony is that he's been living in his chest arc reactor for too long, and like the arc reactor has been killing him. So yeah, it's been killing him. Like the arc reactor has like been like making like puzzles around his chest and around his neck, and like it's like killing him because like it's like the thing that's making him alive, but like it's kind of like wearing off and it's making him die now. So yeah, and like a lot of the times really fast the arc reactor like burns power and all of that. So yeah, so like he's just dying. Like he's just dying from the inside with the arc reactor. And he's just really freaked out about it, and like he always like checks his blood toxicity, and then it keeps going up. And like if it goes to 100, then he'll die. So yeah, he's really freaked out about it. Is there anything else about Tony? And because from there, since he's really freaked out, he's just trying to he's just doing sort of a bucket list kinda. He's doing a bucket list. He's just having fun before he dies, and he's just doing things to have fun before he dies, and all that. He's just trying to live his last moments on Earth. And yeah, and then from there, what else is there? And then from there we follow with the villain. What's his name? Ivan Vanko, also known as the Whiplash. Now Ivan Vanko, what he is like he lives in Russia. Like he lives in Russia. He's a Russian, and way before Howard Stark was alive, Tony's dad, Howard Stark and Ivan Vanko's dad, Anton Vanko, used to be friends. But then like he found out that Anton has been like doing some dangers, and like he put him to prison. And then like once that happened, they moved him to Russia. And when he moved into Russia, he became poor, and his whole life got ruined. Like he lost all his wealth, his rich and wealthiness, and he lost all his company. Like literally, he lost everything as when he went to prison and went to Russia. Yeah, and so yeah, and Ivan, yeah, Ivan like really hates the Stark family for doing that, and he blames it all on Tony because like Howard Stark's already dead, but now his new target is Tony. Like he wants to kill Tony just for that. So yeah, he just wants to kill the entire Stark family tree, but like he's the last. Yeah. Is there anything else about Ivan? So yeah, and like he's been making like he made an arc reactor of his own, and he made like these whips that have the same power as Tony Stark's, like like his iron the like iron things that come out of his mouth, that come out of his hand. I mean, not his mouth, but yeah, so yeah, they're basically made out of the same thing as his weaponry is. And yeah, that's basically his whole plan. And then we go to the secondary villain of this movie. We have a secondary villain of this movie named Justin Hammer. Now, Justin Hammer, his plan is to make an army of Iron Men. Like he's inspired by Tony and he wants to make an army of Iron Men, but like Tony always keeps refusing him. Like he always refuses Justin. Like he's just like fuck off, dude. Of course he doesn't say that. He doesn't say that it's a PG-13 movie. He's just like, hey, okay, we can. You saw all the the dangers it caused and all of that. Like he keeps rejecting him, and from there, that makes Justin Hammer like really hate on him. And then like once Ivan like fights Tony, but like Tony wins the fight. Um, Ivan goes to prison, but then he right away escapes because of Justin Hammer. Now Justin Hammer, like he's been teaming up with Ivan to because like he saw what Ivan did with Stark, and like yeah, he can do the same technology as Stark, so he wants him to do him a big favor. Like he wants him to make Iron Man. Like he wants him to make Iron Man suits that work, that don't cause any dangers. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically what he wants from Ivan, and like but like the plan like keeps like changing and all of that, and like yeah. And yeah, but like Justin just keeps like agreeing with it. He's just like, well, okay, okay, okay. So yeah. Um, and then like while all that is happening, like Tony doesn't know about it, and like he's just trying to like trying to fix his arc reactor and trying to like find out a way for him to stay alive. Yeah, I think that's basically the whole plot of Iron Man 2. Now, do I like Iron Man 2? Eh, it's okay. This movie is definitely the worst out of all the MCU movies, definitely, but I still enjoy it. Like I still enjoy this movie. Like whenever like I'm marathoning the MCU and I get to Iron Man 2, I'm just like, okay, fuck it. I'll just watch Iron Man 2, just enjoy my ass. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, this movie's pretty enjoyable. Like pretty enjoyable. Yeah, but like this movie just like has so much crammed in it at once. Like literally a lot crammed in it. Like there is like so much happening all at once. This movie is a scattered brain mess. Like literally like so many plot lines going all around the movie that it doesn't even make up for full emotion for one of the plot lines. Like this movie just feels like a commercial to the Avengers actually, cuz like this movie like teases the Avengers a lot. Like they like randomly bring in like Avengers in this movie. They randomly introduce Black Widow and what's his name, Nick Fury in this movie, but they weren't really necessary to this movie at all, I would say. But like yeah, but yeah, I just think this movie was definitely a commercial to the Avengers, and it wasn't even a good one either. Like this movie like literally felt what it wanted to be. Like, but like I've been hearing that this movie did have a lot of production issues. Like this movie like had a lot of production issues in it. Like Jon Favreau, he originally wanted to make a movie, a personal movie of Tony Stark dying, like him dying from what he's made of. Like he wanted to make a personal movie of that, but in here we just get this like, okay, he's dying. We don't really care. Yeah, that's basically what this movie is. We don't even care that he's dying, and there's not even much of emotion going around in it besides just, hey, here's the party. Let's party. I'm dying. I need to live my last lives on Earth. That's basically what that is. Basically, all of Tony's character throughout most of this movie. Yeah, but like this movie is definitely doesn't even have much of emotion in it with all its plot lines, and you don't even care for much of what happens. What else was I thinking? What else was I thinking? Uh, oh yeah, but like yeah, as like I was saying about the production issues, like Jon Favreau, what he wanted to make, he thought was gonna be really good, but like the Marvel kept pushing him on the edge and like just giving him all this shit to put in the movie and keep bugging him about it. Like they're like, we gotta put the Avengers in here. Like we have to like make this a commercial for the Avengers. Please do it. And it's just like fine, and then it's just yeah, and yeah, but like they screwed him over like really hard. Like literally, like he did not make the movie he wanted at all, and they literally screwed a bunch of characters in this movie over and actors. Like they screwed Mickey Rourke over, they screwed Sam Rockwell over. Like they screwed over a bunch of people in here. Yeah, but like this movie could have been good if Marvel didn't get too much into their hands with this movie. But yeah, this was only the third movie in the series, and they were already like wanting to like make an Avengers movie. Is there anything else I was saying? But like they didn't even make an Avengers movie till like 2 years later. Is there anything else I should say? Hmm. Yeah, but like, yeah, from there, like, from the, I'll get to my full thoughts on the movie. So most of this movie, most of these characters don't really have much to do or have much of emotion in it, and you don't even care for much of these characters at all. Like the villain, Whiplash, Ivan Vanko, you don't really care for him that much. Like he doesn't even have much to do in this movie. Like he doesn't even have much of a big story arc in here or any emotion for that matter. Yeah, like he doesn't even have any emotion to this movie that makes you care for him. Like literally, but I heard that like during the making of this movie, he was gonna be like a really cool villain, and but like yeah, they just really screwed him over. And Mickey Rourke, he was really passionate with playing Ivan Vanko. Like he was really passionate to work with Marvel. Is there anything else I should say about this? Oh yeah, and the other villain, Justin Hammer, he didn't even have much of any emotion at all. Like literally, like these villains literally did not have any emotion to them. But I did think his plan was pretty cool. Like to make a whole army of Iron Man. I thought that was a pretty cool storyline. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool plan. Yeah, but like he was gonna use it for like weaponry and well, no, he wasn't gonna use it for weaponry. He just wanted to use it just to make the world better. But like if he did it, then like there would have been a lot of weaponry and all of that. But yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool storyline. But just the way it was executed was just pretty bad. But like the characters to this movie, Tony Stark, he was an okay character to this movie. He was nowhere near as good as in the first one, but he was still okay in this movie. Like there wasn't really much of emotion of him dying that much. Like there wasn't really much of emotion to that. Like I felt like they didn't really focus on that like as much as they should have. But yeah, I just they should have focused on that like so much more. Is there anything else I should say about this movie? I mean about Tony. But Tony, I thought that was pretty cool. Just him but him dying from like his like from what he's living in, but it just could have been handled so much better. But I really liked in this movie, him and Pepper were slowly falling in love, but like in the end, it's just very okay. This review will contain spoilers again. I forgot to mention that. I keep forgetting to mention that the review will contain spoilers. So yeah, just leave the review if you haven't seen this movie, which I doubt I doubt most of you haven't, because like a lot of people have seen the MCU movies. But yeah, but like I thought in the end with the kiss, that was just very forced. Like that must have been the most forced kiss I've ever seen on screen. Like literally, it happened so fast and so forcefully, and didn't even have any emotion to it at all. Like literally, their kiss in the end just wasn't for me. But yeah, I just Tony in this movie, like literally, he was okay. Like I didn't really like all the scenes with him just being cocky and him just wanting to throw a party and him just like wanting to do a bucket list and just have fun. Like I thought that was really weird. Like that was a very weird plot point. But I did think the fight between him and Rhodey was pretty cool actually. Like I really liked that fight. The fight between him and Rhodey was actually really dope actually. Like that fight was really cool. I think that might have been the greatest part of the movie actually, just the fight between them two. I think that might have been my favorite part. Yeah, and yeah, just like Tony, he's just just Tony. You don't really care for Tony all that much in this movie. But I do really like the whole plot line that goes to the second act of the movie, where he's like finding out more about his dad, and like he always thought that his dad like hated him, and like his dad wouldn't even like be with him all that much. He never even told him he loved him or liked him. Yeah, I really liked that plot line to this movie. It was pretty cool. and like from what he's been finding out with his father's plan, like that's what makes him get a new arc reactor that makes him survive. Yeah, I really like that. That was a pretty cool storyline. They should have just focused on that instead of all this other shit happening all at once, like the stuff with Justin Hammer, stuff with Ivan, the stuff with the Black Widow, and all the event and like a couple of the Avengers in this movie. And like another subplot was like Rhodey was making a war machine. Like he was making a war machine, which yeah, just this movie like had so many plot lines all at once. Is there anything else? But I did like Rhodey in this movie. He was pretty cool. This was our first time seeing Don Cheadle as Rhodey, but I prefer him more than Terrence Howard. He was pretty cool in this movie. He didn't really have much of a he had a little bit of a character actually. Like him and like Pepper like were just afraid of him, just like go getting under control and all of that with his suit because like he's having a fun time. Yeah, I kind of like that. Is there anything else I should say about him? Yeah, and I really liked when he, like after the fight between him and Tony, he steals the silver Mark II suit and then he makes it to War Machine. Is there anything else I should say? But yeah, I really liked their friendship in this movie. We didn't really have much in the movie, but I still really liked it. It's yeah, the villain to this movie, Ivan. He didn't have much of emotion, but I thought all the scenes with him were pretty cool. But they barely went on for a second though. Like all the fight scenes between him and Tony just went on for like just a little bit of time. Like it just went on for a minute, like literally just 1 minute, and it just ends. Like all his fights, is just really fast, and like they could have it could have at least been cool if we had longer fight scenes that were cool. But like these fight scenes were just really short. They were cool, but I just wish they could have went on for longer. But like they just happened really fast. But they were still pretty cool. Like I really liked Ivan's like whips. Like those looked really cool actually. They did a really good job with making those. They looked really cool. But yeah, I just thought the scene between him and Tony in the race car track just went on really fast, and the fucking end battle between them just went on way too fast. But yeah, let me think. Is there anything else I should say about him? But yeah, yeah, all the scenes with him in action, like they're short, but cool. But I really liked in the end, like when he had like a full Iron Man suit with the whips. That actually looked really cool. And then we get to Pepper. Pepper was okay in this movie. She wasn't as good as in the first one, but she was still pretty cool. Pepper in this movie, Pepper in this movie, she's just sort of like someone to like overprotect on Tony sorta, and like whenever Tony gets in danger, she's just like, you're dying, I'm fucking mad. Like literally, that's literally how she is in this movie. But yeah, and I just she was just wasn't as good as in the first one. Just she was okay in this movie. And then we get to Black Widow. I thought they introduced Black Widow okay in this movie. Like it was a really wrong time to introduce Black Widow, but it was okay. Like Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, that's perfect right there. Like literally, that's perfect casting. Same with Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. I forgot to mention that in the first Iron Man review that like him as Iron Man is actually perfect casting right there. And Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow was perfect. Like literally, I think that's the main positive to the whole MCU is the casting, because like each casting is perfect, except for a couple here and there, but each casting is just perfect. Yeah. Is there anything else I should say? But like, I thought she was really cool in this movie. Scarlett Johansson's very attractive. Like, she might be on my top three celebrity crushes. She might actually be my first, actually. Yeah, but yeah, she's just really attractive in this movie, and I just love seeing her on screen. But her character is not much. Her character is not really much in this movie, but I really like the scene in the end where she's fighting all the people in Justin Hammer's building. Like she's fighting all those people. That scene was actually really cool. I really like that scene. And yeah, yeah, she was just really attractive in this movie. I just loved I just loved her on screen. Is there anything else I should say about her? Yeah, I think that's it. She was pretty good. Is there anything else? And then we get to Justin Hammer. Yeah, Justin Hammer. He was an okay villain. He didn't he wasn't a fighter, but like he was just this dude that would cover for Ivan and all of that. He was an okay villain, but they literally screwed over Sam Rockwell. And by the end of this movie, they didn't really do much at all. Like they didn't really do much at all. The villains, like by the end of this movie, like the way it all executes just doesn't like hold up. Like it doesn't make the movie complete at all. Like, and that's a really big flaw I have with it. Let me think. But let me think. Yeah, he was just like he wasn't really like compelling, but he was still okay. And then we got to Happy. Now, I forgot to talk about Happy in the first one. In the first movie, he was pretty funny actually. I really liked him in the first one. And here, he does the same thing. He's really funny in this movie. I like all the scenes he's in. I love the scene where when he goes inside Justin Hammer's building and like he's just like, you can't do this alone. And then he's fighting this one security guard and he just keeps fighting him and it takes him like so long to knock him out. And then like he finally does knock him out. And he's just like, hey, I got him. And then he looks and there's like a whole bunch of other people knocked out. Yeah, that was a pretty funny scene. Is there anything else about Happy? Yeah, just Happy was just really funny in this movie. And then we got to the setting to this movie was okay. Like they captured the setting pretty well, I would say. Yeah. And all the actors I thought did a pretty good job. Like they all did a pretty good job with what they were given. Like they were all really good. And then the soundtrack to this movie was pretty good. I forgot to talk about in the first one the soundtrack. I actually didn't forget to talk about it. My camera ran out of storage before I could talk about the soundtrack. But the soundtrack to the first one I thought was really good. Like they brought in a lot of rock songs and a lot of like, just rock songs from AC/DC and like other people. Yeah, and I really like that a lot about the first one. And here it delivers the same thing, and that it is really cool. Like I just love all the rock songs that play in here, and I love how they put "Should I Stay or Should I Go" from Stranger Things in here. Yeah, the soundtrack was pretty good. I thought most of the comic relief didn't really work for me. Like most of the comic relief that was in this movie didn't really work, but I thought some here and there worked for me. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say? The pacing I thought was I didn't the pacing I thought was pretty messy actually. Like even the pacing to this movie was pretty messy. Like it could have been paced a lot better. Like the pacing was just very messy. Just all it was just all over the place. Like yeah, and this movie doesn't even go by fast at all. This movie's 2 hours and something. This movie's like 2 hours and like 6 minutes I think. But you do feel its runtime. Like this movie goes by pretty slow. And John Favreau, yeah, I don't disrespect him for making this movie. He's made some really good movies actually, like Elf, no, not the Lion King. That movie sucked. Elf and The Jungle Book. Those movies were really good. And like yeah, but like I don't know what he was thinking with making this movie and The Lion King. Is there anything else? Well, we're not talking about those movies. But I thought all the special effects and the action sequences were all done pretty well actually. Like all the special effects in here looked really real. Like they were all done really well. Like the special effects, you can still look at it. Like it's okay, it's pretty good. Yeah. Let me think. I think that's all I should say about this movie. Yeah, this movie's just okay. Wait, before I end this review, I just want to talk about the end battle. The end battle was okay, I would say. It wasn't something spectacular like in the like. No, I don't think like these end battles have been getting spectacular, but I do prefer the Incredible Hulk end battle way more than this one. Like the end battle was okay to this movie. All they were doing was just fighting a bunch of armed robots, and then like from there they just fight Whiplash very shortly, and then they kill him like right away. Yeah, but like, let me think. Is there anything else I should say about this movie? But yeah, and I really liked how it ended with when they're in like the press meeting and then Highway to Hell plays. And I really thought it was funny when like they said that like Tony Stark was like not recommended for the Avengers facility, but yeah, and then they actually do end up putting him in the Avengers movie. Yeah, this movie, yeah, this movie's just okay. Like, it's not one I would really like to watch all that often. Like, I literally like don't really like watching. I mean, it's enjoyable, but I don't really like going back to rewatch it. Like, it's not very rewatchable to me. Yeah. To rate this movie, I'll rate this movie a C plus. Yeah. It's okay. Could have been so much better. Yeah. Bye, and see you all in the next review.